So, hello and welcome to another episode. This time you're joining me on Vermuyden Lake, which is on the Fenland Fishery complex. I've not been here long. I've just finished a session over on Willows, that'll be getting uploaded before this one, and for now I've got 48 hours to contend with on here. It's not looking rather good, I'll be honest. I'm not feeling too positive with the swim that I've got, and the lake's rather busy, and to be honest I'd rather have been down the other end of the lake. But where I am here, it's where the spit is, where the lake's divided, and there's a nice gravel bar that runs between that spit and around the reed line as well. It seems to be like where they freshly dug it, because it used to be two lakes this. I hope I had a liner there. Yeah, it used to be two lakes this, and then to add to it they basically just cut this bit out. I'll see if I can get a map for you and show you that. So yeah, I got the deeper out because I wasn't really feeling too good. I'm thinking gravelly and 3 foot. You know, you need bright hot sunshine for that sort of end of the lake. But I got the deeper out, and there is some deeper spots as well. And my right hand rod, I've actually come off of the spit itself. There's a reed line that runs down that spit, and just as it drops off this gravel bar it comes down into 5 foot. I've put one there and I've got one fishing on the on that bar as well, and that's my starting point. I've not gone too mad with the bait. I've put 5 medium spawns of bait over each. I'll go into the bait into more detail as the session progresses. Rigs of choice, pretty much the same as I used last time I come here. It's a combi rig, combi link, sorry, Nash combi link, size 6 hooks. They're the quarter wide gapes, and that's what did me last time. Hook bait wise, I've gone on the yellow baits again, the TX1 banana and pineapple. They worked for me last time. So that's how I'm starting it, that's my approach. Wish me luck, and hopefully we can catch something to show you. Well, we're just coming into evening now. It's just gone 8 o'clock. The sun's starting to set. As of yet, not much has happened. I had a couple of liners on the left-hand rod, but I don't believe they're carp. There's been quite a few little bits and bats jumping about. But within the last 20 minutes I have started to see the odd fish show. To the right of me in the main body of water, I've seen 3 or 4 shows up there, but then out in this on the other side I've seen 2 fish show at the back of there, which is a good indication. They've got to move through this point. to go into one side or the other. So hopefully I'll intercept a couple. I've been sat watching the reed line as well. I have seen the odd reed knocking about, but not enough to say it's a carp. It could be anything. There's quite a few tension here as well. But time will tell. I'll keep my eyes peeled. It usually comes to life at night, this place. It's quite intimate fishing. Both rods are only fishing short. I've got one at 6 wraps and the other one's at 6.5 wraps, and that's pretty much my water for this little bay. On the other side, there's a swim on that other side, but that's not there's nobody in it, but that's not my water, that. I suppose I could cast over there if I wanted to, but for now I'm quite happy where they are. It'd just be nice to get some sort of indication to say that they're in my area, because at the moment I feel I'm just waiting for the fish to turn up. But I'm sure they will mooch through here at some point. Let's just hope that I've done enough to make them drop down and have a feed. Standard mix as usual, the LM94, hemp, plenty of crumbed up LM94 in there, and a good few handfuls of whole boilies, and sweet corn as well. Finish that off with the food syrup, and I've also put a few of the TX1 tiger nuts in there as well, just to give them a few options. And I'm still using the mesh bags. I'm putting in the 2mm isolate pellets. They've been heavily glugged in beta stim liquid, and something that I've added this time, which I don't usually, is a bit of rock salt. Yeah, and some boiler crumb in there as well. One of them just goes on with every cast. Certainly is lovely sitting here now. It's nice and peaceful, because there's a few businesses around the lake. I mean, there's a big digger thing that's been going up and down the track, making a lot of noise. Now all them have closed. It's quite peaceful. I say that, and then that gas thing over there keeps squirting out. I don't know what that is. Some sort of compressor, but it keeps letting the pressure off every now and then. I mean, tomorrow we're supposed to get a bit of rain tomorrow, and the pressure's meant to drop a bit. So hopefully, you know, that makes them turn on a bit. The two guys fishing to the right of me in that main body of water, they've been here since Tuesday, so they've been here for 48 hours now. One guy's had 2 fish and the other guy's had 1. Said they've lost a couple as well. But that's quite slow, really. I'd expect to see a few more, especially where they're fishing as well. It's a good area, that. But they're not easy to catch, these fish in here. It's a small water, and it gets pressured every day. And these fish do know what they're doing. They can be quite riggy. But it certainly feels good to be here. I'm going to leave it there, start get some tea on. Got a chicken chow mein to have tonight. Popped to the shop earlier. Right then, if you don't see me through the night, I'll see you in the morning. good morning, and what a beautiful morning it is too. It dropped pretty cold last night, and with that sun coming up this morning there's a nice mist rolling off of the lake. But to be honest, it's been a really quiet night. Just after I'd spoken to you last night, I had a liner on the left hand rod and I was kind of sat there rubbing my hands thinking that the fish are moving in, but that wasn't the case. I didn't receive a liner all night. That wasn't until at 4:30 this morning when my right hand rod, the one that's fishing out towards the spit, I got a little liner on that. So I've just been sat waiting, sitting on my hands, thinking there could be a few fish in the area, and then sure enough an hour later it rattled off. Quite a twitchy take. It picked it up and the line went slack. It dropped. It must have come towards me and dropped into the deeper water. So I'm really glad I had them big legs on. So yeah, I've got a nice zip linear in the net. Let's get him out and show you. Well, what a gorgeous fish this is. He's not a monster, he's just gone 18 pound too, but I'm made up with him. Proper stunning little scaly. Got real stubby little fins on it as well. I think he's a bit camera shy. Come on, we just want to take your picture. They're all dying to see you, come on. Just like the fight, beating me up. He really did give a good account of himself. Tried to do me under the tree to the right of me. He just will not let me pick him up. And there we go, look. Just check him out in the morning sun. Proper little stunner. I don't mind them, not at all. He is beautiful. Yes, you are. Mwah. TX1 banana and pineapple. It seems to be doing well for me everywhere I take it, that. Show the other side because it's equally as nice. And there he is, look. What a gorgeous creature. Withered fins, little stumpy ones. Not much of a dorsal. I bet he's got some stories to tell. Absolutely lovely. I'm going to slip him back now. Just look at them scales. Pucker, lovely job. Well, it's mid-afternoon at the moment and it has been really quiet today. I've not seen much in the area at all. The rods have remained motionless. Out in that back bay though, I've seen a couple of fish drifting about on the surface. It just looks like they're sunning themselves really. It's been quite hot today. The weatherman was totally wrong because it was meant to be overcast and drizzly today. And the pressure was meant to drop a bit, but that hasn't happened. I even tried chucking a few zigs over there, but they're just not interested. I'm definitely going to have a change up for this afternoon though. The left hand rod, I've persevered with that on that reed line, and they just don't seem to want to get down here. One thing's for sure, there's definitely not that many fish that do get down here. Last night there was a hell of a lot of fish showing out in that open body of water. But what I am going to do, that left rod, I'm going to push it out into that back bay. If nobody turns up to fish that other peg, that rod's going to go over there for tonight. That's where I seen them fish show earlier, on that back bay over there. Last night, I mean, there was a couple of fish show there on dark. So I think I'm going to move it and put it over there. That's provided nobody turns up. And I'm going to keep the right hand rod where I had the bite from this morning, fishing over to that spit. That's all prepared and ready, that one. I've just recast it and put 5 spoms of bait over the top. I'm not going to touch that now. I think that's a point worth mentioning as well. The less disturbance the better on small lakes like this. In my opinion anyway, it certainly is on here. I mean, that one that I had the bite on this morning, that had been cast out from getting here, from arriving, and I hadn't touched it until it went this morning. So it had been out a good 20 hours. Well, there's not much I can report on really. Hopefully, fingers crossed, there's a few fish push in again this afternoon and we get a bite either tonight or in the morning. Well, good evening. It's coming into that magic time again. I've left it a little bit later. It's just coming up to 8:30 now. The light's already started to drop. Or should I say the calm before the storm. I've just checked the weather app and it says we've got a storm due in tonight. Gusts of up to 40 to 50 mile an hour winds. And the temperature's dropping as well. It's going to go down to 7-8 Celsius it says. But also the pressure's dropping. It's still not where I'd like it, but 1008 it's coming in at. So all in all, the conditions are better than there was last night. So that's got to be a plus. I did have a change about earlier. Somebody did come and go into that peg, so I haven't been able to put one out over in that bay where I said I was going to. But what I have done is I've switched them around. My left hand rod is now the one fishing over to the spit where I had the bite from, and my right hand rod, I've actually dropped it under the tree in this margin. I plop the deeper in there and it drops off into 6-7 foot, and it's a nice hard firm spot. And whilst I had the deeper in, it was picking up quite a few small fish in that area. But it's been rather quiet today, other than seeing the odd carp, you know, drifting about on the surface, not really doing much. The bobbins have remained motionless. well, I say nothing to report, apart from I was reeling in earlier and I was just about to lift my lead out and a pike went and snapped at it. Made me jump out my skin, to be honest. Part of me was thinking, shall I chuck it back in and reel it back in again? But I didn't. But that's been the highlight of this afternoon anyway. But everything's sitting pucker now. The right hand rod, I actually switched that to a solid bag, just so I could underarm it under the tree better. I'm not keen on, when you've got a mesh bag on and that, doing an underarm flick, because sometimes it can wrap round your lead and you end up sitting there not fishing. I didn't want that to happen, so I thought I'd just pop a solid bag on. Same mix in there, and I put a few scoops of the spod mix in over the top. I've not gone excessive. Although that guy that's turned up though, he's put loads of bait in. Absolutely loads. He set up around 5 o'clock and he's been round to the margin where he's fishing, and he's been round 3 times and put loads of bait in. But you know, it is what it is. Day ticket fishing. We're all here to catch at the end of the day. But the lake is fishing rather tricky. There was one other fish out this morning. A guy on the other side, which is in the main body of water, he had one. He didn't say what size. Not much left to do for tonight now. I've already had my tea. Made myself beans on toast today, which turned out alright, to be honest. It's the first time I've done beans on toast while I've been fishing. I toasted the toast in a pan. Instead of using a ridge monkey, I put it in a pan and just, you know, put it on a really low heat and toasted it like that, and just kept flipping it over, and it turned out really nice. I was quite surprised, so I'll be having that again. I don't know, look at that, we've waited a bit later to see if they're going to show in that back bay again. And they're not there, not yet anyway. This time last night they started showing over there. Not a lot, it was only like 3 or 4 shows, but it was all around this same sort of time. But you know, with that guy moving in there, that might have something to do with it. Well, you know the drill. If you don't see me through the night, I'll see you in the morning. Well, good morning to a very brisk, chilly morning, let's put it that way. The wind has come and the rain did come last night as well. But on the fishing front, I've not got much to report. I received a liner on the left-hand rod about 4 o'clock this morning, but other than that, it's been very quiet. Well, other than the fact that about half an hour ago, a coot picked me up. That got the heart racing. But other than that, no, it's been very quiet. But I've still enjoyed my time, you know. you've got to make the best of the situation that you've got in front of you. Them fish didn't show in that back bay, so with that guy dropping in there, maybe that had something to do with it, or maybe the weather. But the fish did continue showing out in that main body of water. I think if we was down there, we might have been able to, you know, make something else happen. But it is what it is, and that's carp fishing, you know. I'm gonna put a brew on and then start packing up, I think. But it's been an enjoyable session, you know. I still had that lovely zip line here. I wouldn't have caught that if I'd have gone home, would I? And not only that, it's given me a bit of time to get a product video done as well. I was lucky enough to have Deeper send their new Deeper sonar out to me, which is due to be communicated in June. So unfortunately I can't say anything about it until then, but I've knocked a video together for that. So look out for that. As soon as I get the go ahead to release that, I will do. Oh, it's in half cold this morning. Spoon's on. Oh, sugar the floor as well. That one's empty. I'm afraid it's going to have to be a coffee. We've run out of tea. Old Yorkshire tea. Well, I think that is going to be me. I've got about an hour left. I'm going to have this cup of coffee, get the rods in, get the house packed up. So until next time, I'm afraid that is it for this session. But stay tuned, I have got another session planned for this spring, and it's going to a very special water, a place that's totally different to what I'm used to, a bit of distance fishing for some very big fish. So if you aren't already, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the bank sometime.